Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Heather and this is the first video of the rebranding of Heather Mood Reads. It was Heather Lou Reads, but now it's Heather Mood Reads. Thank you Kayla from Books and Lala for making this sweater because it fits in with the theme of this channel very well, because I am a mood reader if you did not know. So this video is going to be life goals, channel goals, just goals all the way around, and me opening up to you a little bit more and talking about where I've been for the past 7 months, because I did take kind of a hiatus from all social media, and it was a very good hiatus for me. I needed it, and just a good time for me to reflect on my life and my marriage and my kids and my friends and family. It was just a very needed time for me, especially going through a lot of changes and introducing a new baby to our family and just overall mental health. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So hope you enjoy, hope you stick around and listen, and let's just get into it. Not me trying to film this part of the video 5 times because I just can't get my words correct, but hopefully this time around will be the good one. So life updates. Postpartum hit me like a freaking brick wall this time around. When I had my first child, it was a lot more, I thought it was more manageable this time around, but thinking back to it, I just had a lot of stuff going on, especially with teaching. I didn't really have time to digest all of the feelings that I was feeling, and I didn't have the depression or the sadness with my first baby, but I had a lot of like rage. Like I had mom rage. This time around I had a lot of sadness, I had a lot of depression, a lot of body image issues, and I just really had to take a step back and focus on my mental health. And instead of pushing things to the side and not really talking about my emotions, I had to do I had to have some like harder talks with people in my life, and it really actually helped. And it's crazy because in my romances that I read, going to reading, but in my romances that I read, I always say communication is key. And I thought that I had really good communication in my life, but thinking back to it, I could do a lot better, and I've learned how to communicate without being defensive, and I've learned how to communicate with people without getting my feelings hurt all the time, because it's a lot easier to tell people what I think when I don't know them. But I've noticed that when it comes to the people that I'm closest with, I just kind of let things slide a lot more, and I don't want confrontation with those people because they're like my people, you know, and I don't want to hurt their feelings, even though like I still speak my mind. It's a very fine line, and I realized that I was doing a lot of that, and I've come to the conclusion that I need to speak up more, and I need to voice my opinions in a more not respectable way, but in a more nicer way, because I can be very blunt, which closes a lot of people off. So I've just had to learn how to navigate that, and also just focusing on my mental health and focusing on my family while focusing on my mental health has been something different that I'm not really used to, because I'm more of the kind of person that is take care of everybody else before I take care of myself. And I realized that you have to take care of yourself, and you have to be happy to be able to really not make the people around you happy, but show them that you're happy. And just, it's a lot more healthy that way. And I've had a lot of come to Jesus meetings with myself about it this time around, and I'm glad that it happened, because I'm in a much better place, and I'm much happier with my family life, with my work life, with my friends and all that. And it's just really opened my eyes, and it's crazy when you actually focus on your mental health. It's nuts how better things get. Imagine that, right? No wonder people always talk about like take care of your mental health, because it's really important, and it is. It's very important. So the next thing I want to talk about is like marriage and my family. So I've been married to my husband for 7 years, and statistically, year 7 is one of the hardest. And it was a very hard year, especially having a new baby and having to navigate nursing and having to navigate going from 1 kid to 2 kids. It's not as hard as going from the 0 to 1, but just kind of reframing our entire life around 2 babies instead of 1. We had to really find ways to navigate that, and just the brotherly love that my 2 kids have towards each other, it is amazing, and it makes me tear up a little bit, so I'm not going to talk that much about it, but like, it's just been crazy. So it kind of goes into my work-life balance. I've had to, even though I love my job, I've had to really tell myself that my family is more important than making money, which money is important, but seeing my family happy and being around and actually being in the moment is much more important. So it's another thing that I have talked to people about, and luckily I have the best boss in the world now, and she is doing the same thing. So that is our goal for 2025 together, is to make sure that we focus on work-life balance and holding each other accountable, which I think is amazing. The people that I work with now, we are all trying to get in that mindset, and it's just, I can tell that things are like, it's a good time. It's a good time, and I'm just glad that I have the support system that I have with my new job, and just getting those opportunities to grow as a human and as a person and as a mom, and being able to work from home. And if I want to be around people, I can be around people. If I don't have to be around people. And it's just, that's also helped with my mental health a lot too. All these things go together, and who would have thought, right? So yeah, it was a good break that I had for those 7 months that I took off. I didn't really take off of Instagram, but like YouTube, Facebook. I got off TikTok because that is a toxic hole. I'm not a fan of the TikTok. So yeah, it did teach me how to do reels though, like how to edit and do reels. So I can give it that. So now we're going to jump into my YouTube goals. So as you can tell, I have rebranded this to Heather Mood Reads because that is much more my speed. I am a mood reader. I really don't like to just stick with one genre for forever. I have noticed that romance gives me a lot more, or like gets me a lot more views. But if I read too much romance over and over and over again, I get really bogged down, and I'm just like, this is so boring. I read a lot of horror and a lot of thriller books this past year, and I think that helped out a lot too, kind of branching out. I'm finally finding, like, I already know what I like in romance, but I'm finally finding what I really enjoy about my horror books. And I started reading manga this year too, and that was a great change for me, a good pace changer. So even though I wasn't on the internet a lot this past year for 7 months of it, I was reading and I was filming, but the editing part is where it just kind of went downhill because I just didn't have time to edit. Honestly, I didn't have time to edit with my promotion at work and it taking up a lot of my time, or like my job taking up a lot of my time, and being a mom and wanting to be in my kids' lives and kind of feeling guilty, like that mom guilt of, well, I need to go edit a video, so do I wait till after they go to bed? But I'm really tired after they go to bed, but I don't want to film the video when they're awake because I don't want them to think that I'm not present. So that's just another thing that I've had to kind of talk myself with, and my husband's very supportive of it. And yeah, so that's just one of my goals, of that, reading for pleasure more and just reading whatever I want to instead of trying to stay with the trends, because I kind of felt in that rut too. I would like to start posting every Wednesday and every Saturday. That's like the schedule that I want to have. So really quality over quantity is what I'm going to be shooting for this year, because I don't want to be pushing out a bunch of videos if it's not up to, like, if it's not good. I don't want to post a bunch of videos. I want it to be entertaining. I want them to, like, I want my videos to connect with people. And I think I kind of got in that, well, if I put more out there, then more people are going to watch. And it was just kind of discouraging when I would post a video and I wouldn't get that many views. But this year, I'm just going to do it because I want to do it and because I enjoy filming and I enjoy talking to a camera and I enjoy sharing books with people, and I want to keep that mindset instead of worrying about the numbers all the time. Numbers are important at sometimes, but you know, my love for reading is very, very important to me too. So I want to do more sit down videos like this as well, just kind of talking to you. Even though I love to vlog and vlogging is a little bit more accessible for my lifestyle, I want to do some more sit down videos so y'all can get to know me a little bit better. And now that I'm not teaching, I can be a little bit more open with who I am and show my sense of humor a little bit more, because I do have a dark, dry, kind of raunchy sense of humor. And when I was teaching, I had to be very G and PG, but now I can be PG and PG-13, we'll say that. I'm not going to be rated R because I still have some of my old students watching my videos, so I don't want them to be like, holy crap. But you know what I'm saying. I want to be a little bit more of myself. Not that I wasn't myself before, but just a little bit, I don't even know how to explain it, but just a little bit more of my personality and what everyday people in my life see, because you never know what's going to come out my mouth. And yep. Another thing that I want to do for my channel is to read more off of my shelf, because in my 7-month hiatus, I was buying a lot of books, and I have a lot of books on my shelf that need to be read. And yeah, I'm going to put myself on a book buying ban for a little bit. The only books that I'm going to allow myself to buy are the book club books that I will need for book clubs that I'm in. Those books I will allow myself to buy, but until I get a good chunk of my shelves read, I'm gonna put myself on a no book buying ban, and then just borrow from the library if I want to do book that I don't have. But I have plenty to read. It's a little overwhelming. And the last goal that I have for myself is reading more genres that I typically don't read, like lit fic and science fiction. I said that I was going to read more science fiction last year, but I didn't. I really want to read more manga because I enjoy manga, and possibly some more nonfiction if they're the right nonfiction. So there's those. But I'm also going to make myself, if I don't like a book, I'm not going to continue reading it, because that's where I get into my reading slumps. And I did DNF books last year, so I did work on that. Sorry, I didn't mean to point that at you, but I did work on that last year, because once I start something, I want to finish it, even if I don't like it. But it takes me like 5 months to read something that I don't like, because I will just read a sentence and put it down and be like, oh, dear God, this is so boring. But I don't want to do that anymore. I also want to keep up with my stats a lot more. I know I said that was the last one, but this is definitely the last one. I want to keep up with my stats a lot more than I did last year and the previous years, and track what I'm reading, who I'm reading from, and just hold myself accountable for a more diverse reading palette. Even though I do think that I read diversely, I want to make sure that I hold myself accountable for that as well, and just learn about different cultures, read from different authors that I have never read from before, and you know, just keeping that up. Even though I do think I do a pretty good job of it anyways, but just making sure I stick to that goal. But that will close this video out, because I have been yakking for 15 minutes. But that's it for this. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed me opening up to you a little bit more. I would really love to do this more this year. I just gotta put myself in gear to do it, because I don't really like talking about stuff that's going on. I would rather just talk about books. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Let me know what you want to see from me this year. I will write it up in my little plans that I have, because I have a lot of plans for this. I have a lot of new series coming up. And yeah, I will see you on the next one very, very soon, because it's going to be a stats video talking about everything I read for 2024. And it's going to be in the exact same spot it is now. So, bye!